everyone.
Hello.
Hello, Fiber friends. We're back. Podcast number 201. Actually,
What?
I don't think it was 200 because when you look at the videos, what is that? 208.
I have no idea. I can't figure it out.
We must
What
have
were the
done
first
episodes.
videos?
I think we had done some maybe like lives or impromptu ones or Zooms that.
Were they podcasts?
I don't know.
Well, it's either 201 or 209.
It's like,
But we're sticking to 201. How's that sound? How is everyone this week? Hopefully well. Yes?
yeah, I'm thinking like 200 bottles of beer on the wall because we can't figure out how many numbers.
Wow.
Anyway, it is what it is.
When you get into the 200s, what difference does it make?
Who's counting?
A few more or less.
It's all good.
Anyway. I am Pam Sapp on Instagram and Ravelry, and Pam Sapienza on Facebook.
My name is Dina. You can find me at The Knitting Place on Instagram, Ravelry, and Facebook.
And please, if you enjoy the podcast, subscribe if you're not subscribed. That would be wonderful and muchly appreciated.
Yes. And leave a comment. I have to say.
Oh, comments.
What'd we say? We thought they'd be 100?
I'm telling Dina, so what? It's like 100. Who can't count 100? It was like almost 500 comments, which
God bless
was
you all.
wonderful. Thank you so much. And thank you for the kind words that everyone said. Right, Dana?
I loved it. I felt like it was a trip down memory lane. There were some things I couldn't even remember. It's so bad.
That's join the club, right? That's me as well.
It was fun. It was fun reading all the comments, but it's amazing, how I feel like a free gift gets you engaged, like leaving a comment. It's cute. But
Well, it's always nice when people engage in a comment. And I think sometimes it's not that people don't want to comment. I think they feel that, I feel this way many times. Who wants to hear my comment? Why should I comment on something? It doesn't make a difference because sometimes you're moved to make a comment.
right.
And that's like, I don't know. So maybe, I think sometimes that's why people,
Don't leave a comment.
yeah. I mean,
I
I'm
don't know, I
not saying
try to-
everyone's, a percentage probably.
Excuse me. I think it's definitely hard because I try to ask questions and I try to post. Sorry, excuse me. I try to post or type the questions in the podcast to create or generate some.
Oh, so a response?
Yeah.
Like not a response, but a conversation.
Yes.
A conversation. Yeah, that's true.
Or engage, to create engagement.
But sometimes no matter how much you try to create engagement, it's just an
It
organic
just
thing
doesn't
that
work.
just
Yeah.
is
Or
just
it
something
works.
that,
Exactly.
that happens. But we thank you so much for the comments. And again, as I said, for the very nice words. And we're so glad that people enjoy the podcast, enjoy watching it, right? Isn't that what people said?
Yes.
They enjoy
I'm
watching
trying
it.
to
They
think
look
of what-
forward to it.
The biggest takeaway, the fact that we have new ones, they definitely love our kids. I love the heartfelt comments that we guided you through, COVID.
Oh,
Those
yeah.
were definitely
Yeah.
dark times and, it was a long year or two. Some people even still work at home and are remote. So it is quite moving. I didn't have the urge to podcast today. Pam was like, you're going to say something. My husband's away. He's in Israel. The news has not been the best. Hurricane, the devastation here in the States, the bombing in Israel. It's unsettling, and I just wasn't in the mood. And when I told my mom this morning, I didn't tell my mom. When I spoke to my mom this morning, I was telling her how we were supposed to podcast and how we have these winners and we're so excited to share. And I was telling her how we're celebrating 200
The 200
podcasts. And I was saying one of the really touching things is that during the dark times, we carried you along. And I told her that I was, at the end of the conversation, I said I really didn't have the energy because my mind is elsewhere.
Correct.
And she was like, you know what, Dinah, that's exactly why you do have to podcast and you do need to show up.
And those are words of wisdom from a mom. And moms always have those words of
Pearls
wisdom.
of wisdom.
They certainly do.
So here I am.
It's always nice that you listen to mom's words of wisdom, right? So many times.
I am listening to my
They
mom.
fall on deaf ears sometimes.
I listen to my mom a lot.
Well, your mom is she's a special lady, so her advice is something that you should always take to heart. And and listen to, because you know what? And like I've always said to you,
it's also life experiences.
Of course. You know, and you have your mom to give you that advice. You know, you're lucky you have mom, because, you know, when you don't have your mom, and I'm not saying that for any other, but, you know, you don't realize until you don't have your mom how much the relationship between mother and daughter is such a one-of-a-kind relationship.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything else like it. I mean, you can be married and have a wonderful relationship with your husband. I always think that
but there's nothing different. There's nothing like a mother.
Correct, because your mom always has your back, no matter what. That's unconditional love.
Yes.
Regardless. Don't you think?
I do.
Yeah. So anyway, and I told my daughter that once.
Which daughter?
My oldest. There's someone here, Dina. I told my my oldest daughter that we were having a conversation once, and it was about whatever it was about. It doesn't make a difference. And I told that to her. I said,
She's giving me the finger.
She?
Like saying 1 second.
Oh, I thought you meant she was really giving you the finger.
No, like. Oh my goodness.
Wouldn't be surprised. It may have happened before.
Like 1 minute.
Okay. Well, so anyway, so what I was saying was that I told my daughter, you know, I said you have a relationship with your husband, with your friends, with your sisters, your family, your siblings. I said, but there's nothing like a mother's relationship. And, you know, I don't think I realized that until my mother wasn't around anymore, because there's such an unconditional love and acceptance. Even, you know, your mother can think you made the stupidest, biggest mistake, but she's still your mother, and she will always be there for you, support, and for whatever happens. So that's just my take on it. You know, I mean, not every relationship is that way, but I don't know. I just think it's special. So I think Dinah's mom giving her their advice was very good, and they were words of wisdom. Yeah, that's why you do have to keep doing things. You know, you do have to keep moving along and doing things as you normally would, you know, even though your mind may be preoccupied, you know. So anyway, are you done? Are you still, what are you doing, Dina?
She's translating. She doesn't speak English. I think she's doing Google Translate. I don't know. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry.
This is real time now. Maybe you should cut this out of the video, Dina.
That's okay.
Anyway, I will start with what I'm wearing today, which is nothing. I have no knitwear on today. I had the intention of putting it on, and I forgot. And so here I am wearing no knitwear. I will say that Dina and I were to podcast yesterday because, as you know, this is a day later than what we normally do. But we did not podcast yesterday. I'm trying to think why. We just didn't podcast yesterday. And we said, why didn't we podcast yesterday, Dina?
Oh, why didn't we? Because I had just a marvelous Monday.
Oh, that's right. That's right. The dog was here. The dog was here, right?
It was the dog, which...
Well, it just was a layer of complexity.
I came late to work because I had a flat tire.
Yeah.
And usually what I do is I bring him and then I take him home and come back and we podcast. But yesterday my window of opportunity narrowed because of the flat tire.
Mm.
And so I called Pam and I said, what do you think? Should I take him home and come back? She said, no, just leave him here.
I think we could podcast. He was fine. He was fine.
But he started whining. You know what it is? He's like a child.
When we were working, he was laying down for most of the time. Every now and then he'd come up by me. I was taking pictures and he'd drop the ball. And he'd want to play. Or he'd put his paws on my back when I was
wanted to play
and he was fine. But then he sat down and he like slept or something.
He was chill. I was too stressed out.
He was chill.
And then my back of my neck.
We decided we didn't have any Zooms today, and we decided, you know what, let's just do some work today, and then we'll come in tomorrow and do it. And that's what we did, right?
This is me stretching on a mat in the morning.
Oh, look at that. And he's on top of you.
Yeah.
Well, that's a dog. You know, they love you. Those are the dogs.
He just doesn't let me move.
That's what they say. That's unconditional love. That's unconditional love.
Crazy.
You know, it's the best thing about an animal. It really is. I was watching something with my husband, and they were showing all these dogs that are being abused and mistreated, and they it's like you have a monthly contribution. I said to my husband, I can't watch this. I can't watch
painful.
this. Who are these people that could treat these animals this way?
Painful.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
I can't watch it. Anyway, that being said, so I was saying, we talked about a mother, so we're done with that now. I hit all that stuff. And then I said what I was wearing, which was nothing, because I don't have any knitwear on today.
Okay.
I had it on
It's
yesterday.
like my first giggle today.
That's how we got into yesterday versus today, because I had knitwear on yesterday, but I don't have it on today. I meant to put it on, but then I forgot. And Dina has something on, though.
And why am I drawing a blank?
Oh, you're asking the wrong. That's what you just made with the beads.
Morning glory.
Thank you.
Morning fog. Not morning
By
glory.
That's a
It's
flower.
morning fog. I need a set of flowers. I need a bouquet.
She's got a little fog going on there. From
This is
Natasha.
Morning Fog, designed by PopeVergara.
Jeez, it wasn't Natasha.
No. Oh my goodness.
Oh, jeez.
Okay.
A little off our game today.
Forgive us. Morning Fog. This was a collaboration with Kokan. I used merino linen from the Knitting Place. It's merino linen.
What was the collaboration? She used her yarn?
Yes.
Oh, is that
And
what it
Morning
was?
Fog is a colorway, and that was the original.
What yarn did you use?
So it was originally designed in merino
Linen.
as well as mohair, but I used the Knitting Place merino linen, and I used I think it was Sandnes Garn mohair, and I love this. I love the combination. It was very unexpected for me. I'm wearing navy pants today. Boom, perfect outfit.
Well, the thing I like about it is I'm looking at it on the screen. It doesn't look like the mohair color is that much different from this color, but
Which
it really,
was my intention.
is. It's off like it is like a pinky beige.
Yeah, I mean, I tried to get as close as possible.
Yeah, but I like that it's not exactly the same.
Correct.
I think it adds a little more depth to the sweater.
Yeah, because you could
personally.
tell from here. In the this is
You can see more
brown.
there,
Yeah,
right.
and that's a little more.
I
pink.
think that's lovely. I like it a lot.
This is my first time knitting with beads, which I found to be very fun. I know a lot of people find it very tedious.
It doesn't have to be with beads if you don't like beads, so don't let that stop you
deter
from doing
you.
it. Yep.
No, she does. She did a beautiful job in giving you an alternative, and it was.
Yeah, there was some
I
of
don't know
the
if it's a
stitch,
lace.
right?
Yeah, there's another stitch that works in the multiple, and it gives you a texture rather than, incorporating a bead. So beautiful, a fun sweater. I love that it was short sleeves. I love the fit. I love the length. I love everything about it.
Yeah, well, that's a great. That's
And it's
the
fingering weight.
This kind of silhouette is the
This is my favorite.
is the favorite. I think
Yeah.
in a fingering weight.
I'm wondering
really do.
how the Tanne will fit. Did I say something funny?
I'm talking about how it's going to fit. Well, you should tell them why. Why are you concerned about that, Dina?
Well,
What size did you make? Did you make a different size? What was the outcome of that? I don't remember now. Dinah said to me after the last podcast.
we have been drunk with sizes.
That
we are just all
she
over
said
the
to me
place.
after the podcast we were leaving, and she said, I couldn't believe. What size are we making? What size was I making in the Tanne? I have
You
to look
tell
at the
me.
pattern now. I'm so. What size are we making? The 45. It's like a 45 in that 44, 45. Yes, it's a 44, 45 in there. And I mentioned that in the podcast. And Dinah says I almost couldn't believe it.
This was last podcast.
When you said we were making this size, she said, because I'm not making that size. And you were
and we
doing
started
the size,
out making the same
one
size.
smaller.
Right. Pam and I always make the same. Usually, I could almost say always, right?
Yeah.
We always make the same size. So
She heard me say the size, and
right.
she was
So when
like,
we were talking about the Tanne, when we were talking about how much we accomplished, Pam started talking numbers, and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, I did the size before that. So when off camera, when we were done recording, I realized, and I wasn't going to say anything, but we figured out what happened. I cast on for the
same size.
same size. Was it the large? I think it's the large.
It's the extra large, I think.
Oh, really?
One,
Extra
yeah.
large.
Yeah.
Okay. We're making so many sweaters. We're dizzy.
I think it's the extra large. On that
So
one.
we cast on, and then you have the stripe. Well, here, I'll show it to you. Where is it?
What are you looking for? What are you looking at? Tanny?
Yeah. Oh, here it is. So here it is. I've split for the sleeves. I think this is the back because I didn't knit that much.
Yeah, that's got the
The
short
back
rows in
has
it.
the short rows. So here it is. So after last week, I think I was at the point where I didn't divide for the sleeves, and Pam was discussing, I think, the number of stitches. I don't recall what it was exactly, and I had this aha moment that my numbers were off. And it turned out that after every one of these color work repeats, you have increased rows. Or maybe not everyone, but you increase. And at this point, I missed my numbers, and I'm thinking, oh goodness, I'm off. And when I went to go increase to make it right, I increased to the wrong number. I increased to the large instead of the extra large.
Really?
That's basically what happened.
So what stitches do you have on there now?
The number for the large.
Oh, okay. So I had 242, and you had
No,
342.
342.
And you had
326.
Okay, gotcha.
And that's how we knew
There was a difference.
I was very wrong. So now I'm thinking, do I just go up a needle size? If I increase
can't.
now, I feel
that.
like it'll ruffle out. It's not part of the yoke, so I don't know what I'm going to do.
I think you should. I think once you get down a little bit,
I should just slip it on.
You could. I slipped mine on,
Oh, how did it fit?
and I blocked mine.
You needed blocking?
Well, my reason was different because the mistake that I made was I realized after I did my last increase I was on the wrong, my last color work is I was on the wrong needle size. It was too small. And then I'm like, oh my goodness. But again, the pattern doesn't give you the length of the yoke. She gives you a row gauge so you can consequently figure out about how long it is based on the row gauge, right?
Right.
So that's what I did. I figured that out. But then again, I said,
How did it fit?
I wasn't sure. The reason I tried it on is I didn't know if I wanted to add some more length before I divided. And I did not. I decided not to because I saw where it was up to on
it's
me.
a deeper,
and I said it's going to be too
it's deep.
And so I didn't do that. You can't tell. I can't tell how this is going to fit because I was like over here.
Okay, one
You
of
know
the
what I'm saying? It
people,
was like just up here that the sweater was.
one of the comments that I read that they took away as like one of a funny, like a memorable one,
Yeah.
was when I said that I was showing my knitting to
Yeah.
someone,
Yeah.
and it was my salmon set, and it was like on a small needle, a short needle.
Oh, that one, yeah. That was fun.
And the woman was like, "Who's that for?" I'm like, "It's for me." So based on this, I feel like this is definitely not small like the salmon set. This will definitely
No,
fit.
I think this is going to be fine. And you know what? You could always wet block it.
Yeah.
Give it a nice steam, and then if you're still not happy with it, give it a wet block. Your length, you can continue to make it a little longer if you
Correct.
want to.
Right.
I think what I
think I
was
need to
basing
try
it
on-
on, okay, but you see that, then you look at the picture, and I looked at the picture. When I looked at the picture, it looked like the color work ended here.
Oh, where does mine end?
And mine doesn't end there.
Where does yours end?
It's like up here. It's ending like up here. You know, it's not down there.
When you can't do it like this. I think it's going right across.
I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
Look where it's landing.
It is, you know what, as long as it fits. But, you know, again, trials and tribulations. So I will, where did I put it? I will show you mine since Dina took hers out. I'm probably at the exact same spot as you, maybe not even as much, because I was knitting on something else all weekend.
That's another story.
Yeah, right, exactly. Gee, yeah, that one. Here, so there I am. See?
I'm losing stitches.
So I'm probably where you are, Dina. That's my back. We're almost at the same exact spot.
What I was going to say is, can we measure the yolks, the depth?
Oh, yours is going to be deeper than mine.
Why?
I'm telling you, I screwed it up.
No, it's exactly the same.
But you didn't block yours.
You didn't wet block it. You
No,
just
I didn't
steamed
wet
it.
block it. I gave it steam.
Look at how gorgeous it is. The colors are amazing.
They're
So
pretty.
one of our customers loved your palette, and I tried to recreate
You
it.
couldn't.
I know. So I had dark brown.
What
not
didn't
this
you
one.
have?
Neither.
You didn't have the dark. Oh, you didn't have the dark brown.
So I had the
Not
dark
even in the
dark
Sandnes
brown.
Garn?
No, the dark brown that I had in Sandnes Garn is more like, it's called dark brown, but it's like a burnt sugar dark brown.
Oh, no,
but it's
no, no, no.
gorgeous.
That's pretty.
And then we blended it. You know what looks very similar is the Every Rose. It's got the yellow, the pink, and the only variation is has a little bit of green, and she loves green. So
There you go. So
that was
it's
our
even
close
better?
second. Yeah,
There you
even
go.
better. Yeah.
So that's that's what I'm up to. So now we're in the stockinette section for the body length. So
Oh, wait, did we discuss that this is, like, I need to put the project note.
what did we discuss?
This is the Tanne.
Oh,
It's
the Tanne.
Tanne top. It's designed by Ventzel. Pam and I put a little twist. The pattern calls for a triple mohair. And in the yoke, the original pattern calls for 2 colors,
Right.
a color A, color B.
This
and
would
she,
be A, B, A, B if you were
Right.
doing it that way.
So it's like a striped sequence, and she alternates it for 4 rounds. But Pam and I decided to use Spin Cycle. And when I was working with a client, I had recommended it, and then we thought it was a great idea.
So there we
And
go.
here we are, just fun color changes.
Yep. So there you go. So we need to finish the body and then do a color work repeat down below. And then that's done, right?
Yes.
Then it's just the sleeves.
I think I might try to knit on it. Is that crazy?
Oh, well, I'm not doing that. Yeah, you can do that. It's not a problem. So I only have one other whip that I will share with you. And this is a continuation of what we were just talking about, which is 1 step forward, 10 steps back, right?
We're doing a little dance.
I decided this weekend that I said, you know what, I had started my second sleeve. I had done maybe, I don't know, 2 decreases on it. And I said, let me really work solely on this. I can get the sleeve done because I'm going to want to wear the sweater.
Right, it's almost...
Yeah, it's almost that time of year. I'm going to want to wear the sweater. And how foolish to do all this work and not have it, right?
Right.
So I pulled out the sleeve and I spent so much time knitting this sleeve. Where is it? I'm discombobulated here. Okay, so this is what I did. I didn't look at all that work I did. I almost got to all the decreases. However, I'm looking at it when I'm knitting it, like at that point, because now I have something to look at. It's a sleeve, it's not just like 2 inches. And I'm looking at it, and I said, gee, I don't know. Is my knitting too loose? I said, I'm not knitting loose, but look at my other sleeve. Dan, you want to hold up my other sleeve? That's my other sleeve. You got that? Look at this sleeve. What do you notice? It's too big. And guess why it's too big?
Too wide.
I picked up for the wrong size. And why did I pick up for the wrong size? I don't know. I mean, I told Dina it's not like we were doing size 2 and I picked up size 3. I picked up for the 5th size.
How did you even land on
I
that
have
number?
no idea. I think that we're doing so many different things, and I think it was
It
I think it was
is.
the number. I think it was the number.
Like the 5th category. Because I think that's what we're doing. Is that what we're
And
doing
you know
on
what?
Tanne?
I didn't have to struggle.
Extra small, small,
I didn't
medium,
have to.
large, extra large. Maybe that's what it is.
Maybe that's what it was. Probably.
Yeah.
And it's not like if I was picking up these stitches and I couldn't get them in, I couldn't get it to work. You're picking up stitches sometimes and you can't. I picked up the stitches, but look, I've got 2 extra repeats in a sleeve. So I was so annoyed. So annoyed.
Extra unnecessary knitting.
All my knitting, I was so annoyed. So in any event, this has to get ripped out.
Bummer. I'm sorry, Pam.
So what did Dina say to me? She said,
Rip it out and put it in timeout. But you're going to want to wear it.
it's been in timeout now for 2 days. I didn't rip it just because I said, let me show it for the podcast. So you know what? Everyone
Now you
makes
can rip it.
Everyone
Everyone
makes
makes
mistakes.
mistakes.
So maybe tonight, if I have the energy, I'll go home and I'll rip it.
I was going to say,
and let the
the
yarn
best,
rest
like,
a little bit.
the best thing to do is rip it and put it away, and then tomorrow is like a fresh day.
Oh, I'm so
I don't
annoyed.
mean time out.
I don't mind doing it because now since I've been doing it, like I know the
in your-
pattern, it's
yeah.
in my head. But it's going to be so frustrating to be on
Ripping
the
it.
second decrease and the third decrease when I could have been on the
That's
decreases
when you
could have
need
been
Rose
done.
to say, Pam, go to Starbucks, get a coffee. I'll rip it for you. That's what she used to
I
say.
think Rose was good that way. Yeah,
She was very good that
she
way.
still is good that way.
Yep. She
And
is.
so Dina, tell. So I said to Dina, so now what ensues is, well, what size are we making? Clearly, I wasn't making the 5th size. So I'm looking at the sizes.
I
and
come
I'm
in
saying,
confidently today.
I thought we were making the 3rd size, which was a 49. And I said, Dina, I remember having this conversation because we were so hung up on the gauge of the sweater. Remember, we couldn't get gauge.
Right.
Everyone was like, what needle do you use? What needle do you use? I thought for sure we said, oh, I'm glad we're making the 49 because it's smaller than we thought it was going to be. That's why I had 49 when I really looked at it on Sunday. So then I started counting. I said, let me count my sleeve stitches. So I'm counting my sleeve stitches, and that's the second size. And I said, you know what? At that point, I just put it in a bag and I put it away. I just couldn't even look at it.
I pull out my garden cardigan because I spoke about it a couple weeks ago, and I had done a few rows. So I brought it in so that I could show Pam my progress and determine what size. So I'm like, Pam, we're doing the 4th size because I have 50 stitches on my needle.
You said the 4th size. I said it can't be the 4th size because I picked up for the 4th. Or the you 3rd? Said that to me because I said I picked up for the 5th size, and that was way too big.
And it was way too big. So now we started investigating. We count the pattern repeats. We're going through dissecting the whole pattern.
Sleeve stitches.
Guess what? I need to rip because I never reduce. So after discovering that we're doing size 2.
Yeah. So we determined now it is size 2. Can't believe we're doing size 2. I'm still shocked.
I got to the number of stitches, yet I forgot, or I didn't. I just jumped into ribbing. I didn't do a final decrease.
Well, you know why that was? Because you put it down for a while.
Exactly.
That's right. And why did I do the wrong size? Because I put this down.
Right.
And I picked it up after like
I need to, you know what?
2+ months, 3 months.
I need to be, so what happens is I get carried away because usually when I'm doing the pattern, I'm like focused on it and it's all good. And I don't need to mark up the pattern per se. Mm-hmm. But what happens is like without intention, patterns and projects are kind of being pushed to the wayside unintentionally, and then you lose track, even if it's on Knit Companion. You know, like if you're not very mindful about like somehow marking, putting, you know, where you are, you know, highlighter tape and a repeat doesn't mean everything. You know what I mean? It's not
exactly.
Like you have to be so specific about even writing notes.
Even the size.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what happens when you have too many projects going on at one time, or you put something down for a while and then you pick it up again. I mean, it wasn't even and the funny part is when I picked it up and I did the sleeve, I started it and I was off by a stitch. They weren't lining up right, so I had to take it out and redo it so that they lined up properly.
Funny.
Isn't that a kicker? So anyway, it happens to all of us. Dinah's going to show you hers.
This is how far I got. Just an inch. But, you know, it's no fun knitting on these little shorties. They cramp my hands. I literally have to do like a round a day.
Is that right?
Or, you know, definitely.
Not too many.
Yeah. I don't do it often. I just don't like it.
Well, now here you go.
I know.
Forward an inch, back an inch.
No, but I'm going to rip and decrease at the very least to get to the number of stitches.
And then you're gonna.
And then I'll be on my way.
Right.
I know the bottom is on my, you know, already on the way because I already am in rib.
If it's long enough.
Right. Then I'll block it, steam it, and see if I need to rip back. Right. Yeah. It's still, whatever. Or somebody could, you know, people come in and drop off their finishing. I should drop my finishing off somewhere. Would someone want to do my finishing?
Problem is you could drop it off, no one would do it. You need to clone yourself. Yes.
Literally. That is the garden cardigan designed by
ANKESTRiCK. No.
ANKESTRiCK.
ANKESTRiCK.
Mm-hmm. Both of these projects that we just showed, the garden cardigan, the Tanne top, those were both knit-alongs. You know, I think people probably think that all we do is knit our knit-along pieces, and that's not the case.
No, well, that's probably why they're put aside and not done correctly when we pick them up again. Yeah. But anyway, that happens.
It happens. Do you have any other knits?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So
not with me, no.
I have been...
Oh, you've been working on your test knit?
Working on my test knit. This is a piece that's in test. It's by Natasha Hornby. I think the last I showed it to you, I only had 4 colors in play. I added the 5th. And it's hard to see because there's not much.
Is it down here?
Yeah, it's that little like beige one.
Yeah, there you go.
It's actually very close to the ivory.
Mm-hmm. No,
but it's really beige. Yeah.
Very nice.
So that's the full palette.
Mm-hmm.
I will tell you that you're working your sleeves and your back all in one, which is
that's good.
an interesting construction. Love that. Something different.
Mm-hmm.
You're shaping shoulders, so it involves short rows. I will say, when I was done, I decided that it was way too short. So in other words, you're incorporating, it's like you're incorporating the two sleeves in the back all in one.
What was too short?
When you go and you put this on, if I were to wear it.
Oops.
This is the back of my neck.
Well, here you got the marker for the back of your neck.
Look at where that's... Now, of course, it needs to be wet blocked, but look at where it is.
Sleeve.
Now, if I put a 3 or 4 inch ribbing, which it calls for, I'm getting a 3/4 inch... 3/4 sleeve. Not what I want.
Is that what it's supposed to be? You said yes.
She does have a 3/4... Like, I didn't wet block it, so it would be longer. It is intended to have a short... I mean, you can follow Natasha Hornby.
It's on Instagram.
You would see it. You don't see everything, and clearly you can't make out what anything is from here because it's just a work in progress. But what I will tell you is that in the instructions, if you want a longer sleeve, you can certainly add. However...
She gives you that instruction.
She gives you the instruction, of course. She's very good about, modifications, and she gave that to you off the bat. I just did the cast on, and I overlooked that, thinking it would be fine.
Not realizing that it was that way. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I did not want to rip out my entire...
How much would you have had to rip out?
The whole thing.
Oh, no.
Everything that I showed you last week. So what I ended up doing is knitting 2 repeats. I attached it.
Where did they start?
Here to here.
Here to where?
It's right here. This section I added.
This one too, the pink and white?
This whole section to the brown.
Oh, really?
Yeah. This whole piece
you added.
I added, and you can see it in here. You'll see my seam. But for the front,
doesn't make a difference.
Right. For the front, I picked up the right number of stitches, incorporating, and now this side.
What are you going to do on the other side?
I have to do the same. I have to repeat it. So this comes down now to here.
Hold on, let me see. Let me get you all organized here.
I mean, I won't be able to really...
Your neck is
feel like
here.
a
Your
cast.
neck is here.
Right. But now I'm mitering the corner, mitering my shoulder, excuse me. This comes down here. I have a 4 inch, and it's like...
It should be down in her
wrist
sleeve.
length. Yeah.
There you go.
Knitter beware.
Now you know from Dina's faux pas. It's not a faux pas.
No. I mean, you have to know how you want to wear your jacket. I knew that I wouldn't want... Like, I could have kept it.
Did you realize there was an option? You didn't realize there was an option. You thought it was just a long sleeve sweater, right?
I realized it was an option, but I just assumed that the length would fit. Like sometimes when, like in Dune Drifter. Well, Dune Drifter, we actually added that. We made that modification.
Yeah.
I think, I'll know, in Letho. When we knit the Letho with the group, remember we covered the alternative to make it longer?
Yeah.
And she said, if you want to make it longer, add X amount of stitches on each side for the pickup.
Right.
And so she's always amazing, but because it was side to side and not my bust or width or girth, I thought I'd be fine.
Right. Because it was a different construction.
Right. And I also have shorter arms, so I thought I'd be fine. I never really, never thought that I would need it. My Letho sleeves were a little bit on the longer side, so I was just kind of...
Well, from past experience, you were thinking that it would be
but you really need to read a pattern, read the, the length and all of that. So...
Lesson learned.
Let my mistake be your benefit.
Non-mistake.
Exactly. And
see, Dinah's really helping you. She's troubleshooting.
Well, if you knit the artist, or even if you've never knit the artist is the same motif.
Yes.
So it's a beautiful jacket. You could see it on her Instagram page, on Natasha's page. I'm loving it. It's mosaic knitting. You have a chart. And, it's incorporating short rows that'll all join in one, I believe, and I'm looking forward to the rest.
There you go.
She's just a smart
Yeah, she's like
brilliant
an architect.
designer.
She's a knitting architect, is what I would say with her. She just has the vision, and she's able to execute the vision and make it come to life through knitwear.
I mean, and even the way she has the foresight to, like, if you want to make it longer, bigger.
That you can do that with all those things.
And she provides you everything.
She's a knitting architect. She really is.
And then I did mention that by today, I wanted
you would be at the decrease?
Well, I finished one skein.
Okay.
So now I'm at the point where I decide if I want to go 3 skeins.
How long is it? Do you have a measuring tape?
I don't. But what I did was I went like this. So if I wanted to tie it, I don't want to like choke myself.
Well, I think you have a little more give over here on this side. I don't want to poke in the under the neck there.
I think 2 is enough.
I think it's fine.
Right?
Now what's going to happen is the direction. Excuse me, Dina. I don't want to. That's in your. Oh, what are you on? Oh, what kind of needle is that?
The top fell off, so I have a point.
Where's the end? Anyway, it's going to go now. The direction of the knee is going to go out that way.
So now I'm going to knit in this direction.
Correct.
Widest point narrowing. And
in
now
a different stitch.
Right. Now the pattern changes. This was a rib.
That's lovely.
And now we're going to welt.
Good.
So I'm excited. So
ribbing, hence the name ribbing. Ribbon Welt.
Exactly.
Ribbon Welt. That's from SweaterFreak.
SweaterFreak.
It's a new, well, she's got ones after that now. I can't say it's her newest pattern. It's
no,
fairly new pattern.
Right.
And it has...
so Ribbon Welt. You know, we haven't been doing that.
What?
We're totally off our game.
I know, we're off our game today.
This is Ribbon Welt, designed by SweaterFreak.
And there's also a hat pattern, not included with this pattern, but as a separate pattern. We kitted it with 3 skeins of the Clinton Hill Cashmere DK, because with the 3 skeins you have the option of either making the 2 skein, as Dina is going to do, and then a hat with the 3rd skein.
Matching hat.
Or making it a little longer and using all 3 skeins.
Right. Now it's interesting. Linda had bought 2 skeins, and then she ordered 2 additional skeins in the color Merlot. I was out. We just got restocked in Merlot, white, and sand.
Oh, nice.
Was it cognac or the chocolate? There's a bunch of colors. Anyway, that being said, she already knit the small one. Now she said, you know what, Dinah? I was going to ship it to her, and she said, can you add another skein?
So she's going to make the hat?
The second one she wants to make longer.
Longer.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So interesting.
Good.
Yeah.
That's nice.
I feel like the third, if you add the 3rd skein, you know the one that you did?
Yes. The one I did
black and white? Yes, the houndstooth. It'll be like that kind of length.
Good. Well, she says the length is 55 for the short and 65 for the long, point to point. So
I think I have that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now listen, you wrapped
and
around your neck.
This is what I had left.
I was just going to ask you what was left. Perfect.
Yeah, really.
So it is perfect. You don't have to measure anything. No. That's the way it's supposed to be. Anyway, so that's another one of Dinah's whips.
Yes, and I think that's it.
I'm so antsy today. I keep moving around. Excuse me. Yeah, those are our whips.
So, what's new in shop?
You tell me, Dina.
Well, we have a new delivery of Madeline Tosh, both in DK and Merino Light. Today's kits, one of the kits, which I think we'll make second. The second kit is an oldie but goodie, but we're going to show you the new colors, and we'll preview all the colors there.
For the kids.
There are a bunch of kits on a bunch of other colors that are on the website, so if you're looking for Madeline Tosh DK, now is a good time to go check the colors out.
This is it. Here we go.
And then our new kit that we're going to talk about, speaking of SweaterFreak, it's the Buzz Scarf. So another point to point. I mean, listen, guys, it's holiday season. You got to think ahead. If you're planning on knitting gifts, you got to allow for time. So this is another beautiful, smart-looking scarf. It's got a different stitch motif than the...
It's a slip stitch.
It does look like a slip stitch.
It's a slip stitch, I think.
It almost looks like the honeycomb.
It does.
Right?
It almost looks like the honeycomb,
right?
in a different shape. Yeah. Honeycomb.
Yep.
So she knit this up with a sport weight yarn, and that's what we did. We kitted it with a sport weight yarn. It uses approximately 300 yards. So we're going to show you what we did. We wanted
Right.
something a little more interesting than just a
so
solid yarn.
She had used a hand-dyed yarn, as you can see here. We have hand-dyed solids. We've got great solids in the Knitting Place Sport Weight, and we have some solids in Moondrake Sport Weight. But we decided to introduce something that has a little bit of color, and without any further ado.
There you go. So here you go. This is the first one. This is from Earth. Is it Earth Yarns?
Yes.
This is colorway Elm. So the nice thing about this, it kind of has that twist that you can see. So there is a slight color change that will happen, but it will be very blended. And this is the colorway, as I said, Elm. And this is, what's the yardage on this, Dina? 198. So you would need 2 skeins to do this.
So you have plenty of yardage.
Yep. So that's that colorway. Next colorway is...
Now, if you plan on making it longer because you have extra, I mean, I have the pattern, but I didn't actually study it. If you decide to follow the increased repeat, make sure you don't use the skein all the way to the end.
She says 280 to 300 yards. So
right. You've got almost 400 here.
You could
don't
go a
need
little
that
bit
much,
longer if you wanted to.
but you don't need to go all the way.
No. This is Sugar Pine. That's a lovely color with the greens, a little bit of pinks and yellows popping through. The next colorway is Rainbow Eucalyptus. How pretty is that? Little camel, little chocolate.
It's like toast.
Yep, colors in there. The next one is Blue Spruce for the blue lovers. You got some blues. What else is in there? A little everything. A little gold, different
Light
shades
blue.
of blue. Yep, beautiful.
I like that one.
You do, huh?
Yeah. Getting
This
into magnolia.
Magnolia. This is one with some pinks and lavendery colors. Very pretty. Again, you get the color change, but it's subtle. It's not solid and it's not crazy. This one is Sycamore. Another kind of green with like yellowish twist going on and different shades of like a teal color. This one is, I don't know, Jacaranda. Jacaranda. I think they're named after trees.
Yes,
Right?
because it's called spiral grain.
And there you go. You can see the colors in that. Very pretty.
Very good, Pam.
What?
Good observation.
Yeah, I know. You can't put
You're
anything
swift.
You can't put anything
You
over
can't
on
pull
me.
the wool over
Yeah.
her eyes.
I know my tree names. Spruce. Listen, it's not hard to figure out. Elm, spruce,
Magnolia.
magnolia. And this again
Sugar
is...
pine.
Exactly. This is like a beiges and camels, but there's some lightness mixed in there too.
A nice neutral.
Right. You can see the difference between the two. You see, one's more goldy and one is, not as quite. So those are the kits we put together for that. Again, if
Solid. Go ahead.
I was going to say, if you were going to pick like the Knitting Place,
Sport weight.
is that what you're wearing here?
No, this is
That's fingering?
Yes, but if you're doing the sport weight, you only need one skein.
That's what I was going to say. We didn't kit it for one skein.
Right.
So you could do the Moondrake Sport Weight, the Knitting Place Sport Weight.
and there's some like fun colors, navy, bright pink.
Correct. And she does say, Jenny, SweaterFreak does say that if you wanted to use a DK, it should be a light DK. Isn't that
Right.
what she said?
Yes.
A light
And
DK.
you're going to want, she said that they're actually in the pattern. If I'm not mistaken, she said that she does
That's right. I wanted to
mention
look at
that you can modify it a little bit.
Yeah.
Hold on. I think she talks about it, something about weighing notes and modifications. The scarf starts out with just a few stitches and gets gradually increased in slip stitch pattern until the desired width is achieved. It's then worked lengthwise until just enough yarn to complete it. Lastly, the stitches get gradually decreased until just a few are left. If you have a different amount of yarn than indicated, you may easily modify length or width. Using a scale is recommended to determine how much you will need to complete the scarf. And also, if you are going to add length, make sure you put like a marker
Yes.
where the increases end. Put a marker at the center spot, and then you'll know how much further to go beyond before decreasing.
Correct.
Because you want to do a mirror image.
I will tell you that there was someone in the projects who was knitting with Quaigu, which is fingering weight yarn. And that also is possible, but again, you would make the mods that Jenny is suggesting.
Right. If you wanted the same width using a fingering weight yarn, you'd have to keep going.
You'd have to do more increases and stuff like that, right?
Right, but I feel like with 2 skeins of Quaigu,
350.
yeah, you can work one to the center, one back.
Yep.
So
anyway,
doable.
so that's doable too. Again, the feel of the piece is going to be a little bit different. It won't be as thick, right?
Yeah, did we show the picture?
Yeah, I think we
did.
Yep.
So, Buzz
So
Spark.
we're excited. Jenny always comes out with such great
Buzz.
Buzz what?
Like a bee, honey cowl.
Is
like
that you think where it came from?
I think so.
You think so?
It's like a...
I love the name
like
Buzz.
a honeycomb. Yeah. I like that.
Honeycomb.
Cute.
Very
Nice name.
And so didn't Jenny have something else she wanted to share
Yes.
with us?
So I think last time, was it last time or the...
I think it was last time.
Yeah. We talked about Pam's, how she participated in the mystery knit-along. And I reached out because I almost feel like it's that time, and I couldn't remember her. You know, everyone seems to have like a shtick. I know Meryl.
I like this one, though. This
Andrew
is a good
Mowry.
one.
Yes, I do
Rhinebeck
like it.
sweater.
Or, no, but she has the knit-along, and so does...
For
Gosh.
what?
Andrew Mowry does it, I think, is it Memorial Day weekend?
Yes, she does for a hat, right.
And then there's one with the sock.
Right.
Then there's one
Stephen
that we
West
did.
does a mystery in the fall.
What was the jacket that we did that you had to knit in a long weekend? What?
Oh, that was the one by, we used the yarn from the Irish Girls.
Yes.
3 Irish Girls.
Yes. What was the name
What was
of
her
that?
name? I don't remember.
Okay, anyway.
I wonder if I have it
So
in my projects.
Jenny has one, and I love hers, and I totally forgot. It's no Rhinebeck, no problem.
So if you're
That's-
not going to Rhinebeck, you can be casting on with a bunch of other people who are also not going to Rhinebeck.
Correct.
But what is it?
So it's a mystery knit-along, so we don't know what it is.
You don't know what you're making?
Not yet. She didn't
You don't know
drop
if it's a
it.
sweater or a cowl or a hat. What is it?
Let me see. I don't know if I'm allowed to say anything.
Well, you can tell me afterwards. Because I want to
It's
know.
no Rhinebeck, no problem. Number 4, and it's the info sheet is planned to be released October 10th, and the first clue will drop on the 17th.
She didn't say what it was.
But that's it. I can't say anything else. So stay tuned for those of you. This is a great way to participate if you're not at Rhinebeck and you're feeling FOMO. This is a mystery knit-along. It's going to be hosted by Jenny at SweaterFreak. She's going to drop the first clue, and I don't even know if she's been publicizing it yet. So
I don't think so.
Shame on me for maybe dropping.
Yeah, but you're not giving anyone anything.
No, I'm sorry, Jenny. It's with good intention. So give SweaterFreak, Jenny at SweaterFreak. SweaterFreak is her handle on Instagram.
Right.
Give her a follow. She has been, knocking these patterns
She
out
really
of the
has
park.
been. She really
and
has been.
Her aesthetic is just, she does these beautiful, timeless designs.
Yes, she does. She
Great
really does.
accessories. She certainly has some sweaters, but, you do you.
Exactly. Oh, here it is. I found it. Foxtrot.
Thank you. Who's it by?
I'll tell you in a second.
Foxtrot.
Foxtrot by Marie Green.
Thank you. Marie Green. So
And
she
here
also
was,
did the
Here was my
knit-alongs.
Foxtrot. That was it. It was a cardigan. I have to wear that.
That's a heavier one.
Yeah, but that's pretty. Isn't it pretty?
Yeah, you got the good color.
You have a nice color.
Yeah,
You got
I have
that
the
pretty
pink.
color.
Yeah, I do.
Anyway, so, there's so many things I knit that I don't put on Ravelry.
I'm the worst.
I can only imagine how many projects we'd have if we put them on Ravelry.
I'm the worst.
Yeah, well, I haven't put anything on in this year. Very, very little. Very little. Anyway, so that is one project that, again, put it on your list. You might want to do it for a gift for the holidays or a birthday or Hanukkah, Christmas, whatever.
Yep.
What's next?
Next, oldie but goodie.
Oh, yes. And again, a lot of people commented how they like the series or the thing. Why don't I say if it's a series? That makes it sound too
It
planned.
seems like it's a new element to our podcast, and I have to say there are a few people out there that are also seem to be inspired to be doing the same thing.
Right.
And
which is going back in time because, how many different ways can you change something up, right? Sometimes the things that you've done in the past are
still relative, still classic,
Yeah,
still wearable.
yeah,
You know, I think it's beautiful. You know, we have so many new knitters, and a lot of our viewers are obviously new to the channel.
They weren't around when those other
Right.
things were
Some
done.
of you have only been watching us for a year, so it's kind of nice to be able to open your eyes to things that maybe we have seen back in the day. You know, maybe when I first opened, or what was first popular when Ravelry came out.
Right.
There are lots of beautiful patterns. I wish we could touch on every single one. But
And you know what? Dinah and I will sit and have a conversation, and usually we'll end up thinking of something else. Listen, Dinah's been here a long time. We've been in the shop a long time. There are many
1997.
things. Right. There are a lot of things that we've seen come and go and come back again, right? Remember
Absolutely.
when you first opened in 97, the big thing was a big fat yarn.
Bigwell, it's still around. Rowan Bigwell.
Big-
Rowan Bigwell. It's
nothing,
still around.
Nothing could be thick enough. It was not
crazy.
thick enough, right? And so we've seen all the different things come and go, right? I think back, it's so funny. But in any event,
Eyelash, sequins, everything. Everything comes back.
Remember the
It's
eyelash,
crazy.
yeah. Anyway, so we...
Back in the day it was Noro. Now it's spin cycle.
That's
But
right.
Essentially,
That's right.
it's the same thing.
Similar, very similar.
Yeah.
So Dinah and I were talking the other day. We were on the phone talking about this, and Dinah said, "What's the name of that shawl?" And she's telling me about this shawl, and I said, "I remember the shawl."
Wait a second. I need to ask Lisa. So my husband, as is in
You
Israel.
better ask her. You
Going to.
You should write
I have to
yourself
write,
a note.
yeah.
Because they're sleeping now.
Peacefully, I hope.
Yes. We were discussing this, and Dinah saying, "What's that shawl? Remember we made that shawl?" And I said, "Yeah, I vaguely remember it." But then we started talking about what was it made out of. Maybe that'll help me remember what it was. You know.
No, we said it was made out of Tosh DK because we got the huge delivery.
That's right.
And so Diana was the one who came in, and she said she was buying yarn to make this shawl.
Oh, was she the one that said it?
Yes. Or she had yarn, I think. And she came in with the pattern, and I fell in love. So I went to the shelf, and I got 3 skeins of Tosh DK,
And she made one.
and I made one. And I don't have it here.
She gave it
because
away.
When I wore it to Israel, my sister-in-law snatched it off my neck, and she said, I want it. So she got it.
There you go.
See, all you have to do is just like,
Dinah's a sharer. She's a sharer.
I'm a giver.
I'm a giver. Yeah, exactly. So what is the name of this mystery shawl, Dinah? Tell them.
It's called Lin-Lin Shawl. Of course, I'm going to type it. It's hyphenated, so if you're looking on Ravelry, it's by Yoko, Johnston. You must hyphenate the title. Lin-Lin, New Word Shawl.
So Dinah and I were looking back to see how long ago this was, and it said on the thing 2021, and we said, no, that's not it. It was
No
much
way.
longer than that. It wasn't just a few years ago. And I think what happened is in 2021 she updated the pattern, and she updated it for different yarn weights. You could do.
I'm actually going to put, well, first of all,
show them this. This is
This-
lovely. This is a wonderful picture.
it's insane. Absolutely insane. So now I'm going to take a screenshot.
What are you gonna do?
I'm going to edit the screenshot because for the description. Wait a second. Go
And
ahead.
here it is, guys. I'm just showing it to you in 3 different yarn weights. I guess the sizes that would be. It can be done in worsted weight, DK weight, or fingering weight. And
which is wonderful. Hold on one second. Let me just go back to the pattern. So what the first time the pattern was actually uploaded, there should be a date here, no?
I don't know. We did see it because how did we find it?
It was first entered in 2013. Page was created August 4th on 2013. It was first, and then it was republished in 2021, and it was last updated in 2022. So crazy, but yeah.
Anyway, it's a fabulous scarf, whether you decide to do it in fingering. I was intrigued by fingering, but then Dinah pointed out, which I think I agree as well, is that the stitches give you such a nice, you get such a nice stitch definition in the DK, and it wasn't heavy.
No, it was not a heavy
What
shawl.
needle is it knit on?
So here it is, and I'm just going to hold that there for a second. Can you tell them what the different...
What?
Well, I could tell you. This shawl is knit in 3 sections. So the first section, which is right over here, the ribbing.
Here.
The ribbing is the trunks, and it's in 3 sections. The shawl.
So how pretty is that?
It's gorgeous.
How pretty is that?
This is the trunk. These are the branches. Like imagine branches on a tree.
I want to see the next one.
And then you have birds.
Oh, how cute is that?
So she's got
I just love
trunk,
that.
branches, and trees.
Birds.
Trunk, branches, and birds. What did I say?
Trees.
Trunk, branches, and birds.
And the birds are on the top of the branch.
Right. But when you wear it, you're not actually wearing it like this. I turned the picture upside down.
Yeah.
I'm now
You
going
have
to
that
go
nice
to
picture that you were showing me
the
before.
pattern page.
Yep.
And it's just gorgeous when she wears it. Look at that.
That is beautiful. Look at the top, the way the ribbing is coming up.
It's like, almost like fluted. So what you're seeing here, the birds at the bottom, the branches, and the way it's done is you cast on the stitches and you're working this rib, but yeah, it's just very special. I don't want to give too much away, but it involves short rows, it involves lace, chart reading.
And it is charted. It is charted. Yes.
Yeah, I don't think...
There are no... Here, look and see. Oh, there are words. No, there aren't.
You have to read the chart. Oh.
Well, you really should know how to read the chart to do that.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to be... what size needle is it? How can I find that?
It's offered in 3 weights, as Pam told
Go
you.
to the pattern that you just had up, please. Just curious. And...
size 4, 7, and 8.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So 8 for the worsted, 7 for the DK, and a size 4 for the fingering weight. You do you. It's got different sizes. Highly recommend it. We're so excited about it. We're actually going to have it along.
So we're going to have our first... What do you call these older patterns?
Oh, it's a first oldie but goodie knit along.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, an oldie, but if you want to call it that. Vintage. Vintage, right? Could be vintage.
What goes around comes around.
So we are going to be hosting a knit along for the Lin-Lin Shawl. We're going to show you some kits that we made up. And again, it's, you may have yarn because you can do
3 skeins.
fingering.
Yeah.
You could do...
Oh, right.
Check
the yardages.
She has it right here.
So in worsted weight, heavy worsted weight, you need about 700 yards. In a medium weight, DK, you need about 660 yards. And in light fingering, 570.
So if you had 2 skeins of fingering weight, if they were 400-yard skeins or thereabouts,
right?
Even 350. You know what you could use? You could use the cocan.
Yeah,
that would be pretty. That's got
gorgeous,
such a nice. It's got a nice plumpiness to it.
It's got the quagoo feel.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. Mm-hmm. So that would be lovely. I think it would definitely. You don't want to limp. Like I don't. Some of you might ask.
Yeah, something.
I have Tynn.
Oh, I wouldn't do that.
That is not going to be the time. You want something to have a little
like
body.
we have in Zula fingering, which is called squishy.
That would be good.
That would be lovely because it's got
cashmere
in it. It plumes. Yeah,
right.
Yeah. So that would be nice.
Right. I agree.
Yeah. So
I almost feel like a light fingering, like a merino.
I wouldn't suggest.
Yeah.
I mean, you could even do a sport weight if you wanted to, right? Why not? Right.
Yeah.
You could do
100%.
Why not? So anyway, so my point being, it could be fingering, it could be DK, it could be worsted. So we're showing you DK kits. That's what Dina had used the last time. We know how it comes out. And not that we wouldn't do the other ones, but it's just, a known product to us, right?
I'm trying to think of what year. Deanna, if you watch this podcast, let me know what year we made it, because we made it at the same time. Since then, I've been saying I want to make myself.
You have said that.
Every year.
You have said that.
I want to make I'm finally doing it.
But the problem is there are so many patterns that come up. You can't possibly remember everything you want to do.
No, but this is so good.
But this one is one, but we just haven't mentioned it in a long time.
No.
But anyway, it's a great one. We will probably be making some more kits as well.
Oh, yeah.
But this was our first thing.
And
when is the knit along going to start, Dina?
I think we said the first date is going to be October 15th. It's actually right around the corner.
It's not that far away. It's 2 weeks away.
Right. The first class is going to be held on the 15th. It's going to be at 5 o'clock.
No, it's not. 5:30. Because we have another one that day, don't we?
You're right, at 5:30.
It's only going to be a half an hour.
Right, because the beginning, it starts with you're establishing the rib. And
The trunks, right.
And we're doing the short rows, exactly. And then we're going to give you just a couple of weeks, and then we're going to, or is it a month? We're taking it slow.
I think it's going to be November 12th is the next one. Right, because
I think we said, was it like Election Day or something?
Yeah, we didn't want to do it on the 5th. It was Election Day, and this is a lot going on that week.
Right. So we decided we're taking it slow. There's no rush.
Right. It's right after Halloween and all that stuff.
This is also involving increasing in pattern. And, listen, if you have time and you want to buy the pattern and you want to do it on your own, this is just a suggestion. When we say we want to do a knit along, we're actually going to be teaching the techniques. It's for the camaraderie.
You may not need it. You may not need that. So
you may just want to be a part of something, feel like you're part of a community.
Right.
And that's why we do them.
Yep.
So let's start.
How many projects are there, Dina, for the Lin-Lin on Ravelry?
I can tell you that.
I'm just curious.
985.
I'm surprised that's all there is.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, guys. Let's blow it up to 2,000.
Can you imagine if we touched?
She's going to say, why is everyone buying this pattern all of a sudden?
Yeah, right?
Why is everyone buying the Lin-Lin? Anyway, it's very cute. It's by Yoko Johnston. Again, there you go.
You know what we should do?
What?
Viewers, I would love to know what oldie but goodie is your favorite pattern.
Yeah, that's a good question. That's a good question.
We have our favorites, but I'm sure you guys have yours, so definitely share. It would be fun to see.
So we're going to... Oh, you did? You got it?
Yeah.
So we're going to show you some kits that we made using 3 skeins of DK yarn. Most of them are Madeline, Tosh, some are Hedgehog.
Some are Asylum.
Some are Asylum, but again, the majority is Madeline. We just got a delivery of DK and Merino Light. So if you like the Merino Light colors, I'm just looking across the room at them on the wall. Look on the website and you can make the Lin-Lin with 2 skeins of the Madeline Tosh fingering.
Right, and you could just buy that a la carte.
Yep. Anyway, so our first colorway is Dina. You have most of them there.
Okay, this one is called Time. Lovely shade of green. Stitch work will really show up.
That would be perfect for the
stunning
branches and the birds and the whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Next up, you guys might recognize this colorway. This is a color that Pam used in her Jethro. This is called Moon Glow.
It's a fabulous color.
Like a gray with like a
blue cast to it.
Yeah, shade and hue to it.
Very pretty.
Classic antler. Been off white. Beautiful.
And again, Dina and I would recommend staying solid with this.
Yeah, I think people did use like soft shaded multicolor, but don't want to go crazy
because you're going to miss the...
No.
This is a new color for us. It's called...
This is methanol blue.
That's a cute color.
Yeah. I'm laughing because this is a fingering weight by accident.
By accident.
Yeah, but it's the same shade.
But these are...
This is the DK, but you'll get 3 DK methanol blue. Then we have this gorgeous color.
Love this color.
Dusk.
It photographs so nicely, Dina. I was looking at it before.
This is so you. This is Dusk. Beautiful color. I might need to do that.
I don't know. You're getting into those colors now, Dina.
I know, right? I've done a lot.
There you go.
Okay, this is a new color. We've never had this one. Here's another one. La Vienne Rose. I just like saying that.
La Vienne or Bien?
La Vienne. Maybe I'll do this one.
But it's too similar to the one you just did.
Which one?
The one your sister-in-law has.
But she has it.
Well, yeah, but then...
This is in the same wheelhouse.
You could do that.
There's this one.
That's a new color, too.
Yes.
That's a pretty one.
Blue gingham.
That is
Loving
very
these
pretty.
new shades. Yep. So that's blue gingham.
Yep.
And then we have Silver Fox, another classic. Do you want to share some of yours?
Sure, I will. And we have over here from Asylum IPA, a beautiful shade of gold, which is very popular. We also have, this is a great color too, right up my alley. Is it called Clay? Pink Clay from Madeline. Isn't that, oops.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's okay. Pink Clay. And then the traditional, is this charcoal? Charcoal.
Beautiful.
Very pretty. And we still have some more.
There's more. This colorway is called Plunge. Another
New
beauty.
color. Yep. It's very pretty.
This is one that we've had before. It's kind of renamed. It's called Mood Ring Vintage Sorry.
Love that color. Go close so they can see the shading in there.
There's beautiful shading in that.
It's very pretty. Love that.
That's stunning.
Mm-hmm.
Next up.
Oops. Yeah, I'll take it. Is this our favorite color, Dina?
Yes.
Penumbra.
That's in my Jethro.
That's in Dina's Jethro.
Yeah, I go to that color.
It's a great
lot.
shade. It's like a plummy brown almost, right? And then this is, oops, I'm dropping my yarn. This one here is Hosta Blue. I love that name. Hosta Blue for the gardeners out there. That's a pretty one.
Another, this is like.
That maybe is the one you should do. That's in
This is gorgeous.
my Soldatna.
Yes. Pink Mist Smoke Tree.
That's a very pretty
This is
one.
like totally, I don't know. I feel like I want to do something
It's like the
different.
color of your Neela.
My Neela,
Similar.
the garden cardigan. It's reminiscent of this. You know, we stick to our. This is medieval.
That's a pretty
That's a
one.
gorgeous like wine
Mm-hmm.
color. It's beautiful, and it's also got shading.
Mm-hmm.
And then Pam, I know you love this color.
I do love this color. Plump from Hedgehog. How gorgeous is that? That's very pretty. Do like that very much. And
And last but not least, Stone
from Hedgehog.
Hedgehog fibers. So we've got plenty of options to start. Hopefully, we will have inspired you.
You could also use, if you wanted to,
Malabrigo,
Double Sunday.
What else? You
Oh
can
my
do it in
goodness.
Fleck,
Fleck.
DK.
Yeah. You could do it in the Art Yarns Merino Cloud.
That would be so divine.
Because, you know, it's not really fingering, but it's a little shy of DK, falling somewhere in between. So that would be lovely as well. So, I mean, do what, I think this one's over there by you,
Yeah.
Dina.
Do what suits you.
Yep.
Hopefully, we've inspired you. Lin-Lin Shawl,
There you go.
Yoko Johnston. Look her up on Ravelry. It's beautiful.
Yep. So there's our vintage
Look at it.
pattern this year.
Yes. And now,
Now.
the moment awaits for our winners.
For our winners. Yes.
We have two
We do
winners.
have, are you getting them, Dina?
Yes.
Good. Dina's getting the names. We have two winners for our giveaway for our 200th podcast or thereabouts giveaway. And Dina has the names. And remember, we showed you last week what the winners would get. This nice bag. It's from Delacue, right, Dina? Delacue?
Yes,
Am
it
I
was
right?
a gift from Delacue, and I gifted 200 grams of yarn per
Bag.
bag.
Mm-hmm.
For the first winner,
Which one is that?
this one here, it's got the fiber seed, I think it's called Sprout. And I have to just say once again, thank you to all of you for warming our hearts with your dear comments and congratulations. They were wonderful.
480 yards a skein. It's a lot. Of
lot.
yardage, yeah.
I really had to hold back with commenting because we didn't want to change the SKU for the number generator. So I tried to give everybody a heart or a thumbs up, and it really meant a lot. So thank you.
So who's the lucky person?
So for the first number, it's Michelle, Michele Hulday, Houlday 7816. Congratulations. You are the first winner.
So what should she do to
I would
contact
love
you?
for you to email me at thenittingplace@gmail.com. You can say that you were the winner and give me your address, and I will be happy to send it.
Okay, that's the first one.
That's the first one.
The second one.
The second one, should I read what they wrote? Because I did take their
you
pictures.
can, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go to photos because I was really touched. So for Michelle, I thought I took the photos. Here we go. Michelle. She wrote, "Congratulations on 200 plus episodes. There are so many I enjoyed. I liked when Pam talked about her sister, the physicist, and Dina said, don't mock knitters. I even enjoy when you talk about meeting at the bakery and laugh when you talk about your kids. So thank you.
There you go.
Love that.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you, thank you. And then the second winner is Kim Komar, KIMKOMAR 7445. You are going to get the Delicue bag with 2 skeins of Sonia from Kokan.
And Dinah's going to read what she wrote as well.
Kim had to write was, don't have a favorite episode, just favorite moments when you both share anecdotes about your families, especially Sophie's college experience, knitting the roommates' MSU hats, MSU color hats, her moving in, her senior year, your son's wedding, all the stories about Pam's grandchildren. Just sharing tidbits of your lives. The second best thing is being introduced to new designers and designs that I probably wouldn't have ever come across. And the best thing were all the lives you did during COVID. Being in the medical field during that time was very stressful. But coming home and knowing there was something to look forward to take my mind off all the sick kids we were taking care of or having to say goodbye to, well, it meant a lot that you were there, engaging with those of us who think of you as our LYS, but are states away from the shop. So thanks for that.
Thank you. Lovely, Kimberly.
So that was very beautifully said. And on that note, maybe you can send some love back to me for my family. I'm going to joke.
Oh, of course. Of course. Everyone does, Dina. You know that. You know that. That's why we're a knitting community, right?
Yeah. We give so much, and now hopefully you can give back.
Of course, of course. It's a two-way street, even though it's not in person. Right?
Right.
So, in any event, thank you again for the wonderful comments, the warm wishes. And what is that Joe Pesci thing in that movie? Do I make you laugh? Is that what he says? Is that what he says?
Yes.
Do I entertain you?
Do I entertain you? What an iconic scene.
I love that scene.
Gets him to dance, and he oh my goodness.
Isn't that a funny one?
Yeah.
So anyway,
yeah.
If we can put a smile on someone's face or ease someone's knitting anxiety over something, although we need some relief over here, especially since I have to rip that sleeve out.
Yeah. I do have to say my mom was right, because this was a great distraction.
There was. There you go. There it is.
Yeah. So thank you all. Here's to the next 200.
We're already on our way. Really, with 209.
But who's counting?
Who's counting? We're working on our third, not our third 100.
There you go.
We went through 100, went through 200, now we're going to 300.
There you go.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Have a beautiful week. We'll see you next time.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.